So if you've stopped using THC, cannabis, marijuana, and still you are testing positive and it's been over a month, in this video, I'm going to give you 4 reasons why this might happen. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some actionable things that you can do to hopefully decrease the amount of time that you test positive. Hi, I'm Dr. Matthew Nussi, and for over 10 years, I have been helping individuals be prepared for their medicals, including drug testing. Check in the description for all of the ways that we help people be best prepared for upcoming drug tests. So the first reason, THC can be stored in body fat and then re-released into your bloodstream later in time, even if you've stopped using, and then be metabolized by the liver, and then those metabolites end up in your urine. So unfortunately, the more body fat you have, the higher your body fat percentage. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean the heavier you are or the higher your BMI is. Sometimes those two things are unfortunately conflated with body fat percentage. We're specifically talking about how much body fat you are carrying around. The higher that number is, the higher storage capacity you have for THC. So typically what's going to happen is you're going to ingest THC. THC is then metabolized by the liver. Those metabolites then end up in your urine. But if you've got a lot of body fat, you're carrying a lot of body fat, some of that THC can then be stored up in that body fat. And the more body fat you have, the more THC you can actually store. And then later in time, again, even if you've stopped using, you can metabolize that body fat, and then that THC gets released into the bloodstream, gets processed by your liver, and then again ends up in your urine. So it is important to understand that urine drug tests have cutoff levels, and the typical cutoff level for THC on a urine drug test is 50 nanograms per milliliter. That's what most employers use, and that's what the federal government uses as well. So if you're over that 50 nanogram per milliliter cutoff, you will test positive for THC. And if you're under that 50 nanogram per milliliter cutoff, even if you're just under that 50 nanogram per milliliter cutoff, you will test negative, just like as if you would never use THC in your life. So why this is important is that you do have to have a significant amount of THC flowing through your system to cause you to test over that 50 nanogram per milliliter cutoff. And again, the more body fat you are carrying around, the higher your storage capacity for THC, and the more THC you can release into your bloodstream if you are metabolizing that body fat. So just because you have a little THC in your system, and that may end up as metabolites in your urine, that's not going to tick you over that 50 nanogram per milliliter cutoff. And that's why people with a low body fat percentage almost always test positive for THC in a shorter period of time than people who have a higher body fat percentage. All right, the second reason why you might be testing positive for an extended period of time, over a month, even if you've stopped using, is that you were a frequent user before you stopped using. So again, we've got to look at how THC is metabolized in the body and how it ends up showing up on a drug test. THC is going to work its way through your system into your liver, be metabolized, and then end up as metabolites in your urine, and then potentially show up on a drug test. But if you give yourself breaks between use, then you give your body a chance to metabolize all of the THC and basically clean itself out. If you are a more frequent user, like you're using multiple times a day or even daily, then you never give your body a chance to metabolize all of the THC. And then going back to my previous point, that extra or excess THC in your system ends up getting stored in body fat, which then can be re-released later in time, even if you've stopped using, and then cause you to test positive. I'm assuming it seems pretty obvious, but there is science and a rationale for it. The more frequently that you use, the more likely you are going to be to test positive for an extended period of time, like well over a month. So the third reason is the strength of the cannabis that you were using before you stopped using, before you quit. So remember, the test, a drug test, a urine drug test, is only concerned with how much THC you ingest. That THC is what gets broken down and transferred to your urine as metabolites, and that's what we are testing for. So along the same lines as frequency of use, the stronger the cannabis is, or the more THC you are putting into your body at each session, the more you can overwhelm your system, and then that excess THC that just can't be metabolized by your body will then get stored in body fat and then later released, potentially causing you to test positive on a urine drug test. So there's kind of a hierarchy as far as the strength or the percentage of THC depending on how you are ingesting your cannabis. And I'll go over that briefly here. So on the lower level, we're talking 15, 20% THC is traditional flower cannabis, smoking a joint, smoking a bong, how people traditionally have used marijuana. Now, certainly marijuana cannabis has been getting stronger in recent years, but about 20% is, I would say, average. Above that would be vaping carts. When you vape THC, you're basically vaping concentrated oil. So we're talking well over 50% THC every time you take a hit. And edibles can be even stronger. And it's because edibles are kind of a special case. When you ingest THC cannabis as an edible, it's processed differently in your body. You eat the edible and then the THC is transferred to your liver, and your liver has to actually break it down or transform it into an alternative compound, 11-hydroxy-THC, and this can stay in your system for much longer, again, affecting testing times for an extended period. And finally, number 4 is your genetics. Now, the first 3 that I went over are under your control. You can control to a degree how much body fat you have. You can control how frequently you use. You can control the strength of the cannabis that you're ingesting. Unfortunately, there's nothing that you can do about your genetics, but you should have an idea of how quickly you will be able to metabolize THC, because your metabolism is your metabolism. If it is very difficult for you, even if you diet and you exercise, you do everything correctly to lose body fat, you just have a slow metabolism, then you will probably not metabolize THC all that quickly as well, leading to longer testing times. If you're one of these people that can eat whatever they want, they work out hard, they just can't put muscle on, you might have a very fast metabolism, and that would cause shorter testing times. So the one silver lining that I will give you here, if you do have a slower metabolism, and we've got to think back again to how body fat affects testing times. If your metabolism is slower and you have a more difficult time metabolizing body fat, you will most likely not be metabolizing body fat in quantities high enough, again, to release enough THC into your bloodstream to affect testing times for a very extended period of time. Now, what can you do about it? What can you do to help prevent you from continuously testing positive, even if you've stopped using? I'm going to go over 5 things very quickly because I've done a full video on this. I will leave a link to that full video if you want a more in-depth explanation, but here are the 5 things that you can do starting right now. Number 1 is you have to actually stop using. A lot of people say that they stop using. They're actually using less frequently is what they mean. If you continue to use even a little bit right up to a test, you're most likely going to fail that test. So you've got to stop using, number 1. Number 2 is there are certain supplements that you can use that have scientific validity, scientific backing that shows that they shorten testing times. Number 1 is zinc, and number 2 is anything that will upregulate your liver's ability to metabolize quicker. Think of things like milk thistle, beetroot, alfalfa. We have a product that contains all of this. I will leave a link to that product in the description of this video. Number 3 is give yourself peace of mind by home testing. Test yourself at home. You do it in the privacy of your own bathroom. It is cheap. It is easy to do. I want you to test yourself every morning leading up to that test and make sure that you have a very good idea of what's going to happen before you take that official test. Again, I will leave a link to my preferred home drug test in the description of this video. Next, number 4, I want you to drink 80 ounces of water every single day. I do not want you relying on chugging water right before a drug test to try to dilute your sample. The labs are checking for this, and this could potentially cause you to have to retest. I want you getting used to drinking a significant amount of water every single day so your body is accustomed to this extra hydration that will naturally lower the concentration of metabolites in your urine. And finally, I want you to reverse diet. A week before, at least leading up to that test, do not exercise. Do not go on a diet. Don't sit in a sauna and try to sweat out the metabolites. Do everything you can to not break down body fat. Eat a lot of junk food, high calories, be very, very lazy. I know it seems counterproductive. You'll hear you want to sweat out the metabolites, detox yourself that way. It's just not the reality of how THC testing works. If you break down body fat and you've used THC in the past and you have a drug test coming up, you are increasing your chance for testing positive on that drug test. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks to all the members of this channel. If you have any questions, please leave those in the comment section of this video, and take just a second to like this video so YouTube recommends it to others. Until next time, everybody, stay safe.